All right, that was Matt Godfrey over at adfreeshows.com. Also,
Thanks,
Bobby KF5GTZ.
Oh, we know Bobby.
He said, Tony, whose idea was it to have post-match interviews during this era in JCP?
It was Dusty Rhodes' idea.
Come straight from the ring and let's go straight to the mic?
Yeah, absolutely. It didn't always work because a lot of times the guys were, blown up or out of breath.
We just saw in that Dr. Death, he was pouring sweat, out of breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Again, the interviews are more important than the matches.
Yeah.
Listen, I've said this before. World Championship Wrestling back in the day, in the mid to late 80s, was nothing but an infomercial to get you into the arenas. It wasn't about, look how different it is today. Today, AEW Dynamite is to get you to watch the show.
Yeah.
It's not to get you to go to the arenas because we don't do arena events. So, yeah, it was Dusty's idea.
Doing the show I do with Road Dogg, and he gets heat for it, but he says wrestling doesn't draw a dime. The promos do.
Yeah.
And he gets heat for it, but you can it's kind of what you're saying. The promos sell everything.
Sure.
And if the promos aren't good, we ain't getting anything over. I mean, we could see the double Russian leg sweep so many times,
right?
But those promos are getting everybody over. They're building the hype for whatever the next big event is,
right?
And it is the meat of the show is the talking segments.
Yes, it's think about the guys that are big stars right now, and think about MJF, the promos that he has done. Right?
I don't want to see. I mean, I want to see his match, but I want to see MJF with a
microphone, and it's his microphone that what makes you want to see his match.
Yeah,
it's the rap from the Acclaim that make you want to see the Acclaim wrestle.
Yeah. Every time.
Right.
We've got one last question when we wrap this up. Drew Landry, he hit us up on ad-free shows. Tony, I mainly watched WWF, but never understood how much of a star Dr. Death was in other places when he came to WWF. What did I miss?
You missed a guy that was one of those legitimate badasses that fans just kind of migrated to. I mean, we saw earlier that he wasn't that great as a promo, but he could do a lot of great things in the ring, and he just looked good in the ring, legit. So I think that's what you missed. And it was the type of wrestler that, Cowboy Bill Watts really loved, and big, strong, legit amateur wrestler and football player, and I think that's what you missed. I don't think he was schooled enough on promos. And I say that because I think back in the day, and this being back in the day in 87, I think we just said, go out and talk.
Yeah.
Go out and do a promo, talk about. And the guys knew what to talk about, but they didn't have enough practice. And I just think if somebody would have worked with him a little bit closer, he probably would have even been over more than he was.
And now fast forward, 20, 30, 40 years later.
Yeah.
Now they have promo classes. They've got, everybody's first thing you do is we got to build your character. We got to get you comfortable on the mic. And like you said, a lot of guys got just fed to the wolves back then.
Yeah, that's the way it was.
I mean, could you imagine back then saying we're going to have a promo class?
Right.
What the dudes would say? What are you talking about?
Right. So I'll give you a perfect example. You do the podcast, So You Didn't Know, right?
Oh, you didn't know, yeah.
Oh, you didn't know, whatever it is.
Oh,
okay.
You didn't.
Oh, you didn't know. Was Road Dogg over before he started saying, "Oh, you didn't know"?
Not as over as he was.
Yeah, that's what put Brian over, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He was just another one of the Anderson brothers with us.
Yeah, no, he talks about it all the time.
Yeah, and
his
still
mic work got him over.
There you go.
Period.
Perfect example. Mike.
He's like, I of all the Armstrong boys, I'm the worst wrestler.
Yeah,
but I can grab a mic.
Yeah, but he was the most over of all the Armstrong boys.
Yeah, because he like we said earlier.
Yeah.
it's the promo.
Sure.
The mic work got it, and unfortunately, like we talked about, whose career would have been different if they would have had some guidance.
Yeah,
on the mic. I mean, careers could have been drastically different.
Yeah, guidance is one thing, and you can push them so far, but there's also the thing about either you got it or you don't. So I really believe that.
Yeah, I mean that just like we pointed out during the show, you saw Ricky cut him off. I mean, he knew that promo wasn't going anywhere.
That's right.
And I got to save this thing and get out of here.
Yeah, because Ricky
he just literally said, "Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Let me take over here, Robert." That was his way.
What he's trying to say.
Well, that was him telling Robert, "Shut the fuck up for a second."
Shut the